Sometimes I sit here and I wonder what I'm actually doing on YouTube. For the past 5 years, I have warned people that we are in a clown market, a market that is irrationally exuberant, that is full of high flying, highfalutin companies that are completely divorced from the fundamentals. And I fervently believe we are in a bubble. I do. But it seems like every time the market goes down, it always comes roaring back stronger than ever. I am considering selling out and becoming a permabull. Every time the market sells off, I ignore all the information that I see. And I just pump, pump, pump. Buy the dip, buy the dip. Everybody's going to be a millionaire. It's going to be okay. That's what I'm starting to lean towards to. Because it seems like nothing stops this train that is the US stock market. It's incredible. Okay. So let's go look at some information. Let's go look at some specific companies. Let's go look at cryptocurrency and see what's going on in the market because it's truly incredible what's going on today. So let me share my screen here. So I've got pulled up a year chart of a bunch of different investments. So I have Bitcoin in purple. I've got the Vanguard Total World Index in blue. It's kind of hard. It's kind of scrunched down there. Bitcoin's kind of obfuscating. The total US market in yellow, QQQ in teal, and the total international in orange. Okay. So we can see over the past year, Bitcoin has by far outperformed. What is Bitcoin? It is a fundamentally worthless token, but it's outperformed everything else. Now, if we remove Bitcoin, which has had 70% return, so if you had bought Bitcoin last year, May 13th, 2024, you'd be up 70% buying a token. If you had listened to Michael Saylor, you'd be up astronomically. Very concerning. So let's go ahead and remove Bitcoin here and see what's going on with the broad indices. So we can see for the past year, we're back to normal, of course. QQQ has had a 16% return. That's the largest non-financial 100 largest 100 non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ. It's up 16%. After all this tariff drama, VT is up 10%. The total stock market US is up 12%, and international is up 7.5%. Now, we can see that year to date, we had a lot of drama with tariffs. But even year to date, everything except the total US market is now in the green. Let me remind you, we had a president come in a massive wave of euphoria that sent the market flying before he even took office. Then we launched a massive trade war with the world. We embargoed China. We did all this crazy stuff. We still have pretty significant tariffs going on. And the market's up. And this is just scratching the surface, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is the China tariffs. So we see right off the bat, this is a beautiful chart right here. It says President Trump raised tariffs on Chinese goods multiple times this year before lowering the rates temporarily while the two sides negotiate. I keep hearing that we had a trade deal with China. There is no trade deal with China. There is no comprehensive, fleshed out, signed trade deal with China. Do you want to know what the deal with China is? The deal with China is we now have 30% tariffs on any goods coming from China, and they have 10% tariffs on us. That's the extent of the trade deal. So before Trump took office, we'll just go back a year. Before Trump took office, we basically had free trade. Now we have 30% tariffs on Chinese goods, and we've disrupted the supply chain. Go look at the information about the ports on the West Coast. They're having lower volumes because people canceled orders. People stopped buying because of Trump's tariffs. We had all these disruptions, all this drama. We had the stock market plunge for a couple weeks. We had panic. And the deal we got was we have 30% tariffs on China. There's no deal. There's nothing. And I don't think we're going to have a deal with China for a long time. I think Trump capitulated. I know it pisses people off when I say that, but I think it's true. Trump capitulated. He threw in the towel, and in order to save face, he still has tariffs at 30%, but we've kind of paused the trade war. But that's all we did. Why did we have to go through all this drama of raising tariffs to 1 trillion% just to end at tariffs being 30%? And why is the market up now that we have 30% tariffs on China and 10% of the rest of the world, and we only have one trade deal with the United Kingdom? The exuberance is astonishing. It is absolutely astonishing. Okay? So that's the first point I wanted to make, is there is no trade deal with China at all. The next thing that is getting concerning again, the Trump administration has said multiple times that they don't care about the stock market. Interesting. Then why did we basically kind of pause the trade war or significantly scale it back? And that they claim that they're focused on the bond market. U.S. government, we know, is running massive deficits. Okay, we're about to have tax cuts. I will personally benefit from these tax cuts. A lot of Americans will benefit from these tax cuts. They are legitimate. They are real tax cuts for the working class, the middle class, and the upper class. Tax cuts come at a cost. And I don't think they're going to generate the revenue to offset those costs by cutting some Medicaid. And they're definitely not going to generate the revenue from tariffs because now we've already brought them down again. We had $3.3 trillion of tariffs, or $3.3 trillion of goods imports in 2024. So best case scenario with a 10% flat tariff, best case, we generate what? $330 billion of revenue? That's best case. That's not going to happen. That's not going to replace the tax cuts. So if these tax cuts go into effect, they're going to be unfunded. Okay. And I don't know what the bond market's doing. Now, I noticed the first thing is the 3-month is down 6 basis points in the last month, the yield. And that's very interesting to me. And I'm wondering if people are just panic buying stocks. Okay. The 3-month is very short term. It's like where you would put liquid cash, basically. For that yield to go up 6 basis points, that's pretty crazy. Usually when you see yields change, it's usually the 5, the 10, the 30. Those are more sensitive to interest rate risk. The 3-year is up 6% in the past month. It's spiked up. That's very interesting. So either, I don't know, I guess people are just selling short-term debt in order to buy stocks. Could that be it? And then you go down the yield curve. The 10-year is back to 4.46. We capitulated on the initial tariffs on Liberation Day when the 10-year went to about 4.5% and the 30-year went to 4.91%. Another thing that the bond market could be doing, and this is just me guessing, is it's looking at these tax cuts and saying, wow, these are crazy, which they are. They don't solve the deficit problem. And that may generate concerns about U.S. debt. That may add a risk premium. Whatever's going on, the Trump administration is failing at its goal to cheapen the borrowing costs of the U.S. government because yields are pretty freaking high. They have not come down like they wanted them to. Okay, this is concerning to me. Very concerning, but you know what? Doesn't matter. So if we go look at some stocks in Robinhood, okay? Well, first let's start with cryptocurrency. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. So Trump coin is up 10% today. Dogecoin's up 9. Ethereum, this ain't a small crypto, is up 10% because we have 30% tariffs on China. The trade war, there's no deal. What is going on? The market rallied on us not having a deal with China. It rallied on us dropping the ridiculous tariffs that we had on them. That's a fact. And the market rallies. XRP up 5, almost 6%. Bitcoin approaching all-time highs, as we've seen. Bitcoin's been the best investment, guys. That's makes me feel confident. Okay, Tesla. Let's talk about Tesla a little bit. Tesla is trading at $332 per share. So let's go look at the market capitalization of Tesla. Tesla is a $1 trillion company. A $1 trillion company. Why is it a $1 trillion company? This is what I call a metric for the clown market. If you just look at the numbers, which I know the narrative's all important, all that matters is the narrative in the stock market. My narrative on Tesla has been correct. Point by point by point, I called out what was going to happen to Tesla's fundamentals. I was right. I was right that their sales were going to peak. I was right that margins were going to compress. And now, with the new tax cuts, do you know what these new proposed tax cuts are going to do? They're going to remove clean energy credits for used and new cars. Is that bullish for Tesla? Why is the stock at $1 trillion of market capitalization with a PE of 191 and a forward PE of 156? You would think it would be those kind of PEs if it had insane growth. Tesla is X growth. Okay? We are still in euphoria phase, and I don't know when it's going to end. If it ever ends, it may never end. Now, people are bagging on Jeremy for selling it. I think he made the right move. Okay? I think he was smart to sell Tesla stock. I mean, even giving that clown credit. I mean, if you look at the financials, I mean, look, the revenue's down 9% year over year. 9% drop in revenue. And this doesn't reflect the full impact of the reputational damage for Elon Musk. It's going to get worse. Okay? Let's look at profits. Net income has basically plunged. They're probably, I suspect, going to be unprofitable next month or next quarter. Let's see. Free cash flow is plunged. It's almost negative. Margins collapsing everywhere. Everything's collapsing with Tesla. And it's now had this huge rally. How much has this stock rallied in the last year? It's up 98% in the last year. I don't care if you think you're a genius, okay? If you bought Tesla last year and you're up 98%, that doesn't mean you're smart. You're investing in clownery. This is pure clownery. What's going on here? Okay? I've said my piece on Tesla. You know, either you're with me or you're not. So Coinbase is up 22%. Why? Because we're in a euphoric market where people are trading coins. Robinhood is up to $62 again. Why? Because we don't have a trade deal with China and 30% tariffs. And I guess that means people are going to trade. Hims, not really tracking them that much. SoFi, whatever. Palantir, almost $130. Let's go look at Palantir. Okay. It's got a PE ratio of 529 and a forward PE of 207. Wow. Let's go look at some other metrics. But guys, it went up. Guys, price to sales of 93. 93. You're paying $93 for $1 of revenue. Price to OF, operating cash flow, 226. You're paying $226 for $1 of trailing operating cash flow. This is crazy. Even the PEG ratio. Oh, the PEG. You want a low PEG, bro. 6? Almost 7? This is crazy. But it went up. Nvidia's up, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. It's a clown show out there, okay? So I don't know where this leads, but I don't think we're out of the woodworks yet, me personally. Okay, the trade war was totally ill thought out and clownish. And I think even that month of tariffs being in place with China is going to have some ripple effects. The only bull case I'm seeing is that we know that Trump is basically completely backed down, which means hopefully the tariffs eventually go away with some real fake trade deals. And then the Fed could actually potentially cut rates. The reason the Fed didn't cut rates was because of Donald Trump. We were already there. Inflation is basically almost at 2%. The only reason they did not cut rates is because they were concerned about the impact of tariffs. If we got rid of the tariffs, yeah, rates may come down, okay? But that still leaves a concern of rates on the longer end and what this tax cut bill is going to do to yields. Because now it's still in the works. You know, obviously, like I went through it. You can see the other live stream I did yesterday. I went through the proposed tax bill on the Committee on Ways and Means or whatever. So it's still in the works. And it's not like through Congress yet. But it is a huge stimulus to the U.S. economy. But you got to wonder, what's the bond market going to think? I don't know. Okay. So we'll see what happens. There's no deal. The trade war is still going on. We just backed off because we went way too hard. China, so far, has won. So far. All right, let's do some comments. Check out my CPA services. I do tax preparation, bookkeeping, sponsored videos, one-on-one consulting. I've got a free Discord link in there, and I have a book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. You can find all of that at the link, and I'd be more than happy to do your taxes or bookkeeping or anything else. Everyone will be millionaires eventually when the value of the dollar goes to pot. Look, well, I don't think it's going to get that bad. Let's see. Has Jeremy paid you off? You are ignoring him lately. No, I'm not ignoring Jeremy. He hasn't paid me off. But his stock picks are not as clownish as they were. Like, he made it very easy for me to make fun of him because he was picking like toxic trash. Now he's just buying large tech and popular YouTube stocks, okay? And he's using games to manipulate. And most of my criticism falls on deaf ears. It really doesn't matter. So I'll definitely circle around to Jeremy. 1 year of Bitcoin, about a decade of ET. See, that's the problem with this market. Owning every company in the world at market cap weights, that's stupid. That actually produce real goods and services. Real companies. Owning a fake coin means you're smart. Owning Tesla and Palantir and all the other stocks means you're smart. That's concerning to me. Does anybody else see this? Am I the only person that sees this? Yeah. But you know what's funny is people have like, they're making fun of me. Oh, you're bearish. I haven't sold a dime. I never sell. And if you have long-term investments, there's no reason to sell. Ever. If you don't need your stocks or you don't need the cash for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, absolutely zero reason to sell. I was not even tempted once to sell. But I am concerned for a lot of retail investors out there, okay? Because I don't think this clown show's over yet. Exactly. Okay? I don't know if it's people just selling bonds to pile into stocks, or if they're looking at the tax bill and saying, wow, this is pretty crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't have that much insight into the bond market. But yields are not coming down. Okay, the market's telling you something. Let's see. It could be. Just quit your job already? Nope. January 1st, 2026. And I'll still do part-time. Let's see. And it's funny, like the retail investors have been right every time. You just buy the dip and you get a vertical line. It never, ever ends. I think I'm going to be 50 years old when we finally see a bear market that goes down more than 30%. I think I'm going to be 50 by the time that happens. And then it'll probably rally right after that. I mean, I'm personally, like, I'm doing very freaking good. Okay. I haven't sold a share. I've held everything. Like, I am getting wealthy on paper in this stock market, but I am concerned. It is. I know. Market just doesn't believe tariffs will, and the market's right. Honestly, the market's right. That was the bull case in the back of my mind is Trump's going to capitulate. And he did. And now he's touting China as us having a deal with China. There's no deal. We are not reindustrializing America with a 30% tariff on China. Chinese goods are still cheaper with a 30% tariff. Our labor costs are way too high compared to China. Okay, I don't think Trump has accomplished anything, in my humble opinion. Let's see. It doesn't really benefit taxpayers if it just kicks the day. I mean, we've been saying that for decades, dude. It just doesn't nothing seems to matter anymore. Are you not tired of underperforming who? Who am I underperforming? Serious question. I bet you a lot of people were panic selling and now they're panic buying. I just ride the waves. It's not hard. Let's see. Okay, so apparently Trump stopped the tariffs because it was a tactical move. You don't know the 40 just like Trump. Oh my God. Let's see. Wow, imagine people putting money into great company. Yeah, imagine Tesla's such a great company on every metric, bro. People, why are they doing that? Why would you not put all your money in Tesla? You're crazy. Bitcoin. Yeah, it's the future, bro. Let's see. Surely the U.S. empire is on the decline. Any day now, it'll all... Well, you know, if we were a super powerful empire, we really could bully the rest of the world into doing whatever we wanted. Instead, we tried to do it, and we completely failed. And we had to roll back the tariffs because it was about to collapse our economy. Fact, you shill. Is Amazon a clown? Oh, the worst clown stock in the world. Oh, we got a Tesla fanboy in the comments. I bet you watch Meet Kevin, too. I bet you watch Meet Kevin. You own 100% more Tesla than you know who. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I do own more Tesla than Jeremy. I might do a video where I show how much of each stock I own. That'd be pretty funny. Let's see. Coinbase being added to the S&P. Oh, God. That is hilarious. We will have a supply shock to deal with. True. We created our own supply shock with these hastily rolled out tariffs. We make it through that. We should be okay in theory, unless Trump does something else. Let's see. Let's see what the shill has to say here. Any day now, U.S. empire is done for. No, we've been winning bigly, bro. We will never get a deal with China. Bro, we got a deal. We got a deal. We just dropped our tariffs that we started with China. We crushed China, bro. They were begging us. Yeah. The UK deal was nothing. Yeah, we had a trade surplus with the UK. Wow, bigly, bro. 2% of our imports were from the UK. Facts. Let's see. Strong Dong, do you regret not investing in WAP? No, not at all. The market is going to crash. Oh, I know. Trust me. I know the day that I buy call options, the market will crash 30%. No way, no freaking way am I touching call options. No. Let's see. Oh, Mike Stathis casually commented that there's an everything bubble. Oh, even the GOAT is saying that, guys. This market might recover, but it's quite obvious that the majority of Amerifats are living large, driving 50K plus cars and eating out. Well, Americans always do that. This bubble is going to be as ferocious as what we saw after April 2nd, just that when it happens, Trump's caving will be irrelevant. We might see this collapse sometime before 2030. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't see how this is sustainable. It's delusional. It's crazy. It's insane. It's shocking. I'm in awe. I'm like, what is going on? We start a trade war. Markets plunge. We immediately back down. Now markets are back to all-time highs. But we're still in a trade war. We still are. It's not over. The only thing that happened was Trump backed down from China tariffs. That's all that happened. That we initially launched, and we created our own supply shock. I don't know. Yeah, that's why we backed down in like a month. Trump's win. Increase, you know what, percent on tariffs. China responds. Trump awaits call from China. They don't. Trump panics, decreases tariffs with a 90-day pause. China lowers their tariffs. It's true. It's so true, people. I don't hate everything about Trump. I voted for him. I will always say that because I'm transparent like me, Kevin. But this tariff war is a disaster. He needs to just back off. The tariffs don't work. They're not working. Back off. If you want to reindustrialize America, use government subsidies and tax policy for critical industries. That's all you got to do. Let's make our high-end chips in America. Fine. But we don't need to start this huge clownish trade war on every product coming into the United States. It's delusional. It's stupid. Who cares if China makes socks or whatever? That's not a national security threat. Why does that necessitate 145% tariffs? I'm not understanding. And we're winning because we dropped the tariffs that we put on initially. Trump helped me out. I moved $1 million from my post-tax into VTI. I moved more bond. Yeah, I mean, it didn't fall enough for me to be able to tax loss harvest. I was a little upset, but let's see. The market isn't at all-time high. Yeah, but we're basically there. I mean, VT is basically all-time highs again. And then if you look at it, including dividends, I think it probably is. Let's see. The market has to go up due to inflation. Market returns depend on GDP growth plus PE expansion plus inflation. Well, that's interesting because U.S. GDP has not grown that quickly. Inflation on the surface, except for a couple years ago, really hasn't grown that much. A lot of it is multiple expansion. Valuation. I mean, maybe not, but what would the market look like with Kamala? I have no idea, dude. It probably would have been business as usual, to be honest. We'd probably be higher if it was a Kamala presidency. Not joking. China and U.S. backed down. China removed tariffs and all the same crap we did. They need our petrochemical. We need each other, geniuses. We need each other. We are interconnected. We caused this whole disaster. And now that we've reversed course on the disaster, we're claiming victory. No, there's no victory. But the market's euphoric because we went from totally clown scenario to slightly clown scenario. That's why the market has rallied. I mean, that's true, but why would these nations keep putting up with this? Like, it just astounds me that these countries put up with the nonsense that America's doing. Like, it's crazy. 90 more days of uncertainty while Donald and Howard Lutnick act like they won. Oh, yeah, total victory, bro. Let's see. Europe is no competition for capital, and China isn't free market enough for free float cap. I guess that's not priced in, bro. I mean, people are understating the beauty of the US markets. They're just going to go up perpetually into infinity and become 99.9% of the global market capitalization. And nothing can ever change. But China is the main tech competitor to the United States, 100%. Europe, I think Europe can change. I think they should change. And I think they'd be able to outshine the United States if they were really set their minds to it. But so far, yeah, they kind of are clowns. Let's see. Business as usual, and Fox will be telling you to be mad about. Yep, probably. I mean, I didn't say they weren't hurting, but we backed down 100%. We won't have the same amount of manufacture that we did 50 years ago, but we did already persuade trillion. Those are all pledges and promises, dude. People are just blowing smoke up Trump's butt. Oh, I'm pledging $1 gazillion. That doesn't mean anything. Where are the factories? They're nowhere. They don't exist. A CPA or an ex-CIA, Andrew Bustamante. Yeah, I've got long curly hair, bro. Yeah, I used to be a spy. So I know that Trump's a genius, bro. Yeah, okay. Let's see. It's not going to happen this time. See, the last time I had the stuff we were debating is more like nebulous. This time I have cold, hard facts and evidence. He can't refute it. Like, what's he going to do? There's no way we're going to debate again. No way. Where is capital going to go if not the U.S.? It could go anywhere. Like, there's this delusion that Americans have that they are the center of the world. And they cannot imagine a scenario where money does not perpetually flow into the United States. It's a delusion. Things don't last forever. And we've already shown that we're not as strong as people as we thought we were by completely losing this trade war. Trump overestimated the strength of the United States and made us look like morons. He did. It's a fact. And you think that's bullish long run for the United States? I don't think so. Let's see. Is that dresser? No, it's made in America, bro. Let's see. I'll do a debate. And you got to pay me $100. Let's see. It can't go everywhere, bro. Do you realize how Chinese stocks work compared to U.S. or other developed nations? Yeah, dude, it's impossible. Because China's just this rogue nation. You know, they're communists, bro, with the stock market and billionaires and a huge part of the global economy. Why would you ever invest there? You should invest in the United States. We have a president like Donald Trump who is totally trustworthy and consistent. China is more stable and rational than the United States right now. That is a fact. If you don't see it, you are delusional. Okay, well then buy Bitcoin, bro. You know why China's done bad? Because of nonstop Western anti-China propaganda. That's why. 100%. It's an Amerifat delusion is what it is. Honestly, like, nations should replace the dollar. Like, all America does is run these huge deficits, and then other countries finance the United States, propping up our economy, sucking away all the talent. And then we use all that borrowed money to fund this massive military, to just bomb them whenever we want, and to push them around. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they putting up with this? It makes no sense. Oh, but America, like, it's unbelievable. Okay, explain why China's ETFs hasn't reflected China. It's because of multiples. That's all it is. It's the belief in the security of the United States. It is the U.S. exceptionalism. It's global. U.S. outperformance, a large part of it is from multiple expansion because America's the best, basically. That's what people say. But when you kind of erode that, you kind of take away from that. You look at the actions of Donald Trump. Why would you put up with that? Why if you are a foreign nation, why would you continue to put up with the United States? It's crazy to me. The libs are all in arms because Trump gave persecuted South African refugees. Oh, dude, I would flood the country with South African refugees. Oh, there'd be tidal waves, dude. You make me in charge of immigration? Europe, 10 million immigrants a year. Let's go. Flood them in, baby. That would make America great again. No, bro. Bro, you can't get Chinese GDP through their public markets. Yeah, because China, they've mostly invested. Here's what China does, and here's what the U.S. does. China invests in production and exports. They make stuff. They produce stuff. What does America do? It borrows money. That's what America does. China's making all the stuff and lends America money, and America buys the stuff with the lent money. China is the power, not America. It's like looking at two people. America's like the clown that lives in the mansion across the street, right? Oh, he's so rich. He's so amazing. And I'm the loser in the townhouse making all of his stuff that he's consuming and lending him money and collecting interest from him. I think I'm the winner. I actually do stuff, produce stuff. I own the assets. I'm buying more and more U.S. assets, more and more of my neighbor's assets. I own him. He's living off borrowed money and borrowed time. And he may look rich for the next 5, 10, 15 years, but in the end, I will own him. That's what the world looks like to me. America's, it's this huge party. It's this debt-fueled party. Party in the USA. Hey, it's a party in the USA. Borrow money, borrow, spend, borrow more money, borrow more money. It's crazy. Okay? But these things can last for a long time. Like, oh, just borrow more, and our interest rates will never go up. We can just borrow and borrow and borrow into infinity until you can't. When that time comes, I don't know, but I think it will be catastrophic. But it could be decades. Like, who freaking knows? I mean, when you look at like what Tesla's doing and Bitcoin's doing, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. The U.S. still leads culturally, financially, and still see by many as resembles. Also, they own 90% of trademarks and prestige. What do you think Trump's... Okay, America's slowly losing power and prestige in almost every aspect. Why do you think Trump launched the trade war? Why do you think he's threatening to tariff movies? It's because America's losing ground, and he's trying to keep America from losing ground. If we were winning and winning and winning, why would we start this massive trade war? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. If we're winning so bigly, why are we doing this? It's because we're not. We're losing ground. Okay? Yeah, because it goes on investable market cap weights. But you're saying, oh, well, now it's 4%, so it's bad because if you look at the past performance, it was abysmal. Therefore, the future performance is also going to be abysmal. I should buy U.S. stocks, which make only U.S. stocks, which make up 65% of the global market capitalization, with like 3% of the population and 25% of the GDP. And I expect outsized returns from U.S. stocks, which if that happened, U.S. stocks would just continue to grow and grow and grow as a percentage of total market capitalization until they took over the entire world. That's called delusion. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be China. It could be anything. I'm arguing you can't access their GDP growth through public markets. Well, that could change. What if they rebalance their economy? I mean, America used to be this huge manufacturing economy, and then it progressed into a consumption economy. Who says that ain't going to happen in China? I don't know. CCP propaganda. No, America manufactures everything. We crushed China in the trade war. It's fact. We launched this massive trade embargo with the rest of the world for no reason. It's because we were winning bigly, bro. Everything's fine. Tesla's fairly valued. Bitcoin's a good asset. The list goes on. Well, yeah, because it's based on investable market capitalization. But what you're saying is, because this happened in the past, in the future, it can't happen. I disagree 110%. I think anything can happen. Anything. Nobody predicted this Trump trade war. Nobody. And it happened. And people were crapping their pants, losing their minds. Anything can happen. And to discount all the possible futures is not wise when it comes to investing, because sometimes the rare, unlikely scenario can come true, especially if you're investing over decades. And it doesn't have to be China. It could be anywhere. But to make claims about the future because of the past and assuming the world is static and doesn't change is crazy, in my opinion. It's crazy. Let's see. I don't know what to say anymore. Let's see. This has been Trump's playbook for years. Create a problem and then fix it. Yep. Literally nothing has been fixed. The only way to fix the debt problem is to cut Social Security and Medicare. I've voted for any candidate. I'd vote for any candidate. That ain't going to happen. I think we're cooked in the long run. I really do. Because we're not doing anything to address the debt. It's just like, basically everybody's solution is, it doesn't matter, bro. We're the world's reserve currency. It will never change. It's impossible. Continue to spit out dollars to the rest of the world. They'll just keep lending us money, and then we'll use our power to, bully them into doing whatever we want. It's crazy. Palantir all time. Well, Tesla's getting up there pretty soon too. America has reserve currency status. Guess that's going to happen forever. Unmatched economic and military prowess because people are lending the U.S. money. Wealth of resource. Yeah, I mean, that's true. And this trust of stable currency. Oh, we're very trusted now, guys. Trust me. We are very trusted. Donald Trump is a very trustworthy man. I would put my faith into Donald Trump. If I wanted to build a factory anywhere, it'd probably be in America, because Donald Trump's a very consistent, trustworthy person. China's back because they have a 2008 style real estate decline. They are coming back. Look at Baba's stock. No, only America comes back. Okay, only America. It's impossible. I mean, America destroyed the world in 2008 and 2009. It was American greed that destroyed the world. Everybody else got stiffed, and we basically reaped all the benefits. We caused the problem, and then we recovered faster than everybody else, partially due to reserve currency status. Why are they tolerating this? It's crazy to me. Yeah, I was right. See, the stock went up, Gil. It went up. Am I wrong on Tesla too? It went up. Oh, not at all. No, I don't think I'm wrong about Palantir. I don't think I'm wrong about Tesla. I don't think I'm wrong about Bitcoin. I don't care where the price goes. I do not care. Bubble, bubble, bubble. When people mention, oh, everybody has dollars and our culture is the best, it's all cope. We effed off and didn't invest in education, then offshored all the industry for the profit and the short. Dude, but that's what I call the American delusion. They really think they're the center of the world, and they cannot imagine them not being the center of the world. The thought of that terrifies Americans. It terrifies Americans. I don't think it would be a big deal. You know what the big deal would be? We wouldn't be able to borrow as much money with the federal government. Oh, God. Okay? Look, if you want to debate me, then you come on here. You pay me $100. Nobody's putting their money in wands or pesos. They all go to the dollar. See, it happened in the past. It's going to happen in the future. There's no other possibility. Forever into infinity. U.S. dollars, bro. U.S. stocks, bro. U.S. bonds, bro. U.S. crypto, bro. Everything U.S., 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 U.S. It's an American-centered delusion. Add to rampant corruption and rampant corruption. Who is the crypto capital of the world, Mr. O? Who is the crypto capital of the world? The United States. We are one of the most corrupt countries in the world. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Pure corruption. Grift is celebrated in the United States. It is worshipped. Being a scammer is being an American hero. It's true. And labor, oh yeah, no, Americans aren't lazy. Americans are very hardworking. All those people in China working those 9-hour or 996s or whatever it is, they're lazy. Americans, we work really hard here. Okay, trust me, bro. Straw man, stop destroying MAGA bros. Oh yeah, 4D chess. The U.S. might not be on top for, but the USD will take a very, very long time to unwind. You know, if all the countries came together, they could figure something out. But people think that's impossible. Oh, it's like, it can't. How can it possibly change? Trust me, if the rest of the world wanted to get off the dollar, they'd find a way to do it. Trust me on that one. Goldman Sachs is flip-flopping bullish to bearish to bullish on the daily. Bunch of moron. Dude, don't follow them. I mean, I've mostly been bearish about the U.S. market because I see, like, insanity. It's insane what's going on. I've felt bearish for years, but that doesn't change my investment philosophy. Buy and hold, total world index, tax advantage accounts, or taxable accounts if you need the money soon. That's it. Just keep buying and accumulating and never sell. If you listen to the clowns like on Wall Street, they're morons. They're trying to get in and out of stocks. That's what most people try to do. They try to get in and out, and people laugh at me. Like, oh, you were wrong. I haven't sold a single share of VT. Not one. It's only been 3 months. Oh, this is going to last forever. It's never going to end. The debt's not actually debt, bro. It's not actually debt. But we're very concerned about treasury yields for some reason. But it's not real. Doesn't matter. We should just not collect taxes anymore. It's not real debt. Doesn't matter. US debt, bro. You know, it's reserve currency. Why do we have taxes? What's the point? Why is the Trump administration worried about treasury yields if it's not real debt? It's fake. It's nonsense. That is a smart way to do it. I highly recommend S Corps. I will become an S Corp next year, but consult a CPA like me. You seem to think the Chinese care about their public markets, which the CCP doesn't. I think they care more than you think. I think they care more because it's all about access to capital. The Chinese obviously want capital flooding into their country so they can use it to do whatever their businesses need to do, finance future projects, research, et cetera, et cetera. People are like, oh, they're communists, they're going to nationalize everything. No, they're not. They're not going to do that. They need capital just like everybody else. And yeah, Chinese they invest in freaking, a lot of their money goes into property. Well, after this real estate bubble pops, do you think they're still going to freaking do that? Or do you think maybe they'll consider putting their money somewhere else? I don't know. And they still have this industrial base that is powerful. They actually make stuff. They have the advantage over the United States. They're the creditor to the United States, and they produce. That's how I run my life. I try to produce, and buy assets. America consumes, and issues debt. That's America in a nutshell. That's like against everything that I personally believe. And I think it's clownery. It's all fake. It's all borrowed money, borrowed time. Let's see. Round eyes like you are getting access to Chinese peeps. Sorry to break the news. That's the problem with VT. You're right. All in U.S. stocks, bro. The party will never end. When the U.S. has a deficit, doesn't mean they borrowed money from anyone. It means they will collect less taxes than they spend. What does the U.S. Treasury do? It issues Treasury bills, Treasury notes, Treasury bonds. That's called debt. It's borrowing. What else could it possibly be? The U.S. government borrows. Now, a big chunk of the U.S.'s borrowing is from domestic entities like Berkshire Hathaway, like me. I'm lending money to the federal government. Pension funds. But a significant portion of U.S. debt is actually held by foreigners. Because when they get dollars, where are they going to park the dollars? They use it to buy treasuries or U.S. assets. It's a very significant portion. And a lot of U.S. debt is also intergovernmental. But here's the crazy thing. Did you know that Social Security has a lot of money invested in public debt? You want to know why? Because they collect Social Security taxes and then they send it out to old people. And if they have any surplus, they put it into government debt. So the government owes money to each other. Well, the Treasury or the Social Security Administration, the trust fund, is going to have to start depleting that. They're going to have to start divesting of intergovernment debt to fund the shortfall in collections of revenue. So you're seeing this like almost like long, slow reduction in demand for treasuries. Or like what it's going to do is make yields go up in the long run. That's what I think is going to happen. At some point, yields are going to stay up for a long time until we get our debt under control. Because that's how we've been so prosperous. We have low borrowing costs. It's all debt garbage. We can just spend and spend and spend and spend. Everybody lends us money. Oh, you're so amazing, U.S. stocks, bro. It's not going to last forever. I don't know when it's going to end. But I'm telling you, things are not right in this market. This market is insane. It's crazy. There's so many examples of rampant speculation and degeneracy. I don't know. I don't like the U.S. culture of consumption. I just don't like it. Oh, it makes a great economy. Oh, well, I think we've taken consumption on steroids. I think we've gone insane with consumption. Rampant. No, everybody else is corrupt. America's not flawless, bro. Cool. Pay me $100. You got how much you got? $10 million? Send me $100. We'll do a debate. It's hard to imagine another country being, well, one country doesn't have to be the center of the world. There can just be a lot of countries. America will always be a big player, but it's not going to be this like super hyper dominant only game in town. That's all I think that's going to happen. You know, it's the arc of history. America before World War I, World War II was not this super dominant superpower. There were lots of powers. Soviet Union, Germany, United Kingdom, France, Japan. There were these huge, powerful countries around the globe. Huge war happened. Most of the countries got destroyed. Soviets, communists, real communist. America was the only game in town. I think that's changing. It's not a permanent thing. No empire lasts forever. And I think we're peaking, personally. I think we've already peaked, to be honest. But that's not the end of the world. Like, you're not going to die. Okay? Oh my God, the EU might be as powerful as us one day. It's the end of the world. We're all going to die. Do you see BRICS being a short-term gig or actually a long-term? I don't know about BRICS. I don't think they're as close of allies as people think they are. Personally. I think the best, if you wanted a competitor to the dollar, it'd have to be the euro. Okay, because like I get the distrust of China. The euro would have to be would be the only alternative, in my humble opinion. And I do think Europe could be better than the United States if they woke the F up. That's true. Most Amerifats don't travel. That's true. The bond market was getting a little, but it's all fake, guys. It's all fake. The debt is not actually debt. Doesn't matter. But then we need to back off tariffs as soon as yields go up. Let's see. I mean, I believe that. The problem with VT is that it mostly has only access to Europe, Japan, and that's why no, that's not true. 65% of VT is US stocks. Like I said, the thing that makes America look exceptional is we can borrow cheaply. And all the capital and all the talent is flooding into the country. That's what makes America look exceptional. Because we were the only game in town. My argument is that might not last forever. The strongman could... Oh, I don't think it's... No. I don't think it's exceptional. Actually, member of a single member. Well, yeah, that's my plan too. Yo, what up, Fat Man Finance? My you-know-what YouTube content creator. Very entertaining. Keep up the stalking on other creators. You're welcome, good sir. I'll never stop. Don't even get me started on that. I'd rather have a homogenous country than, oh, population pyramid, but we all hate each other. Oh, diversity. Oh, I could see it. I could 100% see it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can go anywhere. Tesla's a meme. I think Palantir's a meme. Bitcoin's a meme. Bitcoin could go to 250,000. I've never disputed that. But it's all nonsense. And if they do go that high, I would be terrified. Let's see. I think that risk just significantly dropped. I think it significantly dropped. The U.S. does not borrow to fund its own budget. What are treasuries then, Sad al-Saud? What are treasuries? I'm trying to understand here. It's an asset, bro. The market going to have a major correction in the USA that anyone will chase. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen anymore. Liquidity crisis with bond yields this high, debt to GDP. Yeah, the tax bill hasn't even passed yet. We're tiptoeing towards a crisis, okay? The U.S. government needs to stop spending like it's spending. It needs to slow down. We need to get our budget under control. We can run deficits, but not like we're doing now. We are running 6 to 7% of GDP deficits during a low unemployment, generally good period of time. That's American exceptionalism. It's borrowed. China has bonkers amount of capital flight. Visit places like Philippines, loads of apartment towers owned by Chinese nationals. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, most money's been flowing into the United States, at least for the past couple of decades. Bro, can you do my W-2 and S-Corp? Absolutely. I'm getting charge $850 for each right now. We could cut a deal. Okay. We need to talk. Why don't you book a consultation and we'll talk about your taxes, okay? I usually charge $1,000 for S-Corps, but if you're paying a total of, what, $1,700 for W-2 and S-Corp, no, I could probably cut you a deal there. So the total cost would probably be less, but it depends on what's on your 1040. If you have like 20 rental properties and like 5 Schedule C's from other businesses and 20 1099s from stocks, okay, maybe that's a fair price. But I think I could beat that depending on what's on your W-2. So book a consultation. It's free. And send me your 2024 tax returns. Let me know if anything changed for 2025. And then I can probably beat that. Just saying. Look at that. I mean, I got a client here. You know, I'll shill U.S. stocks for a couple days if you become my client. Let's see. I don't think so. Not if I'm investing for 30 years and I'm globally diversified. Let's see. $850 for personal and S-Corp each plus ADP is like 70. Well, you're gonna have. Why are you paying 70 for? Why do you have ADP? Dude, there's better payroll providers out there. Book a consultation with me. Yes, I would say for a personal return in S-Corp, assuming your personal return isn't crazy. And your payroll is definitely, I found better alternatives. Maybe they don't have as good of services as ADP, but that seems like a lot of money. I found it for like half the price of that for other clients. So, let's see. Strongman, your top 5 YouTube finance bros, aka Meet Kevin, and your top 5. It's similar to him. I don't understand the comment. Oh, we got a super chat here. I made some profits tonight. The first sign of the apocalypse is people buying finance courses from Jeremy. 1000x stocks, bro. 1000x stocks. Second sign is house hack. Oh, guys, don't worry. I've got another bombshell video coming out. I'm trying to make the Meet Kevin videos more professional. Number 1, so I can get more views. And number 2, so more people can see it. I think I've figured out Meet Kevin's scheme. How he's planning to turn house hack into an infinite money glitch and use the mini funds as exit liquidity for house hack. I think I figured out what he's doing. So I'm going to do a whole PowerPoint and presentation exposing his disgusting plan with house hack. And it's actually like, from a scammer perspective, it's brilliant. And if he can actually get away with this, house hack will print. but I'll explain it in the video. The final sign is dividend margin investors with positive returns. Yep, I bet you Kamara has better returns than me this year. Thank you very much. But no, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Great vid on Kevin. Yep, I've had fun. Salt deduction of 30K and phased out after 400K. Well, the benefit, from what I remember, the benefit is limited to 35 cents on the dollar. So I think they're getting rid of the piece or P's limitation or whatever you call it. And that's a good point. Maybe I didn't see it, but I didn't see free Social Security in there. Maybe I missed it. Let's see. Bro, I got only... Okay, I can beat that. Book a consultation. I'll do your taxes. And yes, you can get cheaper payroll. What if VT crashes? Well, I'll have multiple years of short-term treasuries. Personal return was $1.43 million through PLLC with a W-2 and the rest as K1 after deduction. Yeah, I could beat that. I mean, 1,700 is not crazy, right? But I can give you more personalized service. I'm more attractive than your CPA, and I could beat that price. Yeah, see the pin comment. I do not. I'm curious if it's illegal what he's running. It's questionable. It all comes down to what Kevin determines the fair market value of the properties is that he's going to sell to the mini funds. Who determines that fair market value? Impartial? I don't think so. All right. Well, that was the rant of the day. Maybe I'll work on the Meet Kevin video. Check out my services, especially you, Mr. Rich Man. Book a consultation. Let's talk. Send me your 2024 returns. I'll send you a Dropbox link so you don't have to email them. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the super chat, Nathan M6911. And are there any more last-minute comments? Don't undersell yourself. Oh, no, dude. Man, my business is like pure profit. Pure profit. If I can get that guy in for $1,500 or $1,400 or whatever I finally quote him at, trust me, it's pure profit except for the filing fees. Let's see. All right. Yep. I'm going to go work on the Meet Kevin video. Have a wonderful night, everybody.